Why are these European towers in China? This looks like it could be Southern Europe, but it is not Europe. It is rural Guangdong in southern China, and these strange towers built by Chinese villagers who had traveled, worked, and made money across the world. Some went to Southeast Asia, some went to North America, some went to Australia. Then they came home or sent money home and changed the landscape forever. When people think about Guangdong, they usually think about Guangzhou, Shenzhen, factories, skyscrapers, and Cantonese food. But about 2 hours away from the big cities, the landscape changes completely. You get rich fields, small villages, ancestral halls, and then suddenly, these fortified towers rising above the fields. They are called Diaolou. A Diaolou is part home, part watchtower, and part fortress. They were not built just to look impressive. For families here, these towers were places to live, but also places to hide, observe danger, and protect themselves during periods of insecurity. The first thing that surprises you is the architecture. You can see Chinese roofs, European balconies, Roman-style columns, domes, and sometimes details that look like belong in a completely different country. So, why did this happen? The answer is migration. From the late 19th century into the early 20th century, many people from this part of Guangdong left home to work overseas. They went wherever opportunity was available: Southeast Asia, North America, Australia, and beyond. They worked in trade, labor, small business, restaurants, railways, shops, and many other jobs. And when money came back to Kaiping, it did not just support families. It transformed homes, villages, and local ideas about what success looked like. Imagine this. You live a farming village in southern China. You travel thousands of kilometers to a country you may never have seen before. You work for years, you save money, you send some home. And then one day, your family builds a house like this. Not just a bigger house, a house that says, "We survived, we made it, we are connected to the world." For many overseas Chinese families, the village was never simply left behind. It remained home. Money, letters, gifts, photographs, building ideas, and family expectations continue to move back and forth across oceans. That is why Kaiping is not only a story about architecture. It is a story about families separated by distance, but still tied to one another. There is another side to the story. These towers are beautiful, but they were also defensive. You can see it in the small windows, the thick walls, and the high rooftops. This was not luxury for luxury's sake. In a time when villages could face bandit raids, flooding, and instability, a tall, strong building could protect an entire family. That combination is what makes Kaiping special. These were not palaces. They were working homes built for real village life, with beauty, status, fear, safety, and migration all built into the same structure. For Australians, this story may feel closer than it first appears. Chinese migration has been part of Australian history for a long time. Many Chinese Australians have family roots in Guangdong. So, when you look at these towers, you are not only looking at Chinese history, you are also looking at part of the history that connected China and Australia. People left these villages, but their money, memories, and ambitions came back. Kaiping shows what happens when migration changes not only a person's life, but entire landscape. This was never meant to be a city skyline. It was ordinary countryside, connected to ordinary global journeys. A visit here works best when you slow down. Do not rush from tower to tower just to collect photos. Walk through the lanes, look at the details. Imagine who lived inside. Notice how close the village is to the field. If you are visiting Guangdong, Kaiping is worth adding to your trip. The most famous areas include village clusters with preserved Diaolou, old residences, and rural scenery. Kaiping is one of those places that changes how you think about China. It is rural but global. It is traditional but full of foreign influence. It is China but shaped by Australia, North America, Southeast Asia, and the wider world. These towers remind us that migration is never just about leaving home. Sometimes it changes home forever. Subscribe for more hidden stories from Southern China. See you in the next episode.